Today we're going to be comparing the WiiM Amp versus the WiiM Amp Pro. Now both of these offer streaming music at high res, and they both have internal Class D amplification. The WiiM Amp is currently $299 on Amazon, and the Pro is $379, so an $80 difference. Whether that matters, we'll take a look and see what the differences are and see whether it matters to you. So both of these do allow you to stream from various services such as Pandora, Apple Music, Amazon, Qobuz, Tidal, etc. So you are able to stream high res as well as lossy audio. If you prefer to use Bluetooth, it has that option as well. And you have the ability to use analog inputs if you wanted to connect something like a turntable. So I previously reviewed the WiiM Amp, and so most of what I'm saying applies to the WiiM Amp Pro as well, and I'll point out things that are different. As far as similarities and things that I loved about the WiiM Amp, it does have a subwoofer output, and they provide 10 bands of PEQ per channel, which most things don't even offer that. As far as the sub out, the important thing is that you need to be able to delay the main speakers as much as the delay from the sub, because they have DSP, which usually adds extra delay, and this allows you to do that. And there are lots of more expensive products out there that don't let you do even that. I should also mention that as far as delay, you can set that manually, but the app actually does a pretty good job of automatically detecting the delay differences between the main speakers and the sub, so I think that's a pretty cool feature. They also provide a 180-degree polarity switch, so it's not a variable phase, but hey, I'll take it. As far as the crossover, you can set that on here and it'll automatically low pass the subwoofer and high pass the rest of the speakers. They do provide an auto room correction, and in my findings, it's kind of mediocre. It has some of the same issues as most auto calibration systems, where they're only measuring from the listening position, not the speaker itself. They give you some options for different target curves, but in my experience, it tried to overcorrect too much. Another issue is that a lot of people will be using this with the microphone on their phones. If you're using an iPhone, a lot of times we have an idea of the frequency response of those, but if you're using an Android phone, there's so many different ones that it's kind of hard to detect what is the problem with the speaker versus what is the issue with maybe the mic. For me, I prefer to use Magic Beans to figure out the target curves for each speaker and then manually put in the PEQ. So as far as differences, the key difference is the WiiM Amp has AirPlay 2 support. So if that's something that's important to you, the newer Pro and their Ultra Streamer does not have that option. I think most of the people who will look at this as an upgrade from their original WiiM Amp are gonna look at the fact that it has PFFB, which stands for Post Filter Feedback. Some Class D amps are load dependent, meaning depending on which speaker you connect to them, it's gonna change the frequency response depending on the impedance of that speaker. So that's not something you want. You usually want an amp to be completely neutral, and that's what PFFB is supposed to do. So I did some testing using a JL Audio Max, and I tried it with an Arendal 1723 Bookshelf S speaker, as well as a Sound Artist LS35A. The Arendal is a 4 ohm speaker, and the Sound Artist is an 11 ohm speaker. I just wanted to throw something weird at it to see if something weird would happen. So here are some graphs from that, and you can tell that the original version has some issues here in this frequency range as well as over here. And if you look at the new Pro version with PFFB, it doesn't have those issues with each speaker. It's not perfect either. It has some dips where the line should be perfectly flat, but it's better than what I see from the non-Pro version. Whether that is audible or not, I'll get into that in the next section in our listening test. One new thing that they added with the Pro is that it can now decode 5.1 surround, and it'll create a phantom center from your left and right. Right now, they don't have a dedicated center channel just because these are 2.1 amplifiers, but maybe in the future, they'll figure something out as far as how you can do that. For the surrounds, it does it wirelessly, so you need to use another WiiM product connected to some speakers, but it automatically sends the rear surrounds the proper signal. So this is still a new feature, so I think that there's still some stuff for them to work out. For example, the rear surrounds, there's no way to delay them. Sometimes they're closer to you than the front speakers, so you should delay them, but currently there's no way to do that. As far as listening impressions, I did do some A/B testing between the non-Pro and the Pro version, and even with pink noise and music, I could always pick out the non-PFFB version because it just had more trouble. What I would do is I would just randomly press the button back and forth, switching back and forth, and then seeing which one I thought was the non-Pro, and I'd always land on the same one, which was the non-Pro version. I could tell the difference. You may even be able to hear that in this recording of the pink noise. You guys let me know. But what I found was 2 simple PEQ filters on the WiiM Amp Non-Pro was able to fix those issues, and afterwards they sounded much more similar and I wasn't easily able to detect which one was which. See if you can hear that from the pink noise here. To summarize, if you definitely need AirPlay, then you have to go with the older WiiM amp. If you want the post-filter feedback PFFB, or if you want to try out some of their new features like 5.1, then maybe you should spend the extra $80 and go with the Pro version. Keep in mind that if you do choose the older WiiM amp, maybe because you need AirPlay, you can EQ some of those issues that occur from not having PFFB if you have something like Magic Beans. So maybe you can save $80 there. I don't know. Either way, they're both solid options and I can easily recommend both of them. I should mention that WiiM did send this product free for the purpose of this review, but they did not pay me. And so this is not a sponsored video from WiiM, but it is sponsored by the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit and Magic Beans. The Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit was made by myself and TechnoDad, and this is the best way to get the most out of your home theater system. Your room correction can get timing very good for a single position, but we have 2 ears and this allows you to fine tune your system based on your actual hearing, your binaural hearing, so you'll be able to check whether your Atmos system is working properly and get the most out of it. We often have holiday sales, so follow us on Instagram for the latest deals. And if you're looking to purchase one right now, you can go to spatialcd.com. And Magic Beans is my software and it's designed to find the target curve for your specific speakers in your room. Most DSP calibration software is meant to try to correct for the room, but it can't really do that. If you had to choose between having your speaker optimized versus trying to fix your room, most people would agree that you'd prefer a more accurate speaker regardless of the room, and the research supports this. That's exactly what Magic Beans does. It's a speaker response correction tool and it works with your existing room correction. Look for our latest deals for Magic Beans on Instagram, and if you're looking to purchase it right now, you can go to magicbeansaudio.com. You guys let me know down below what you guys think, if you have a WiiM product, if you're thinking of buying one, and if you like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when I upload new videos, and if you like this one, you might like these other ones here as well. Thanks for watching.